everyone, and welcome or welcome back. I am Alakisha or Christmas. Today I will be covering touching and agreeing, love as the amplifier of God's promise. And here's the opening invocation. There is a phrase many of us have heard. Where two or more are gathered, touching and agreeing. But touching and agreeing was never meant to be a weapon. It was never meant to be control. And it was never meant to be used against another human being. Touching and agreeing is an act of shared faith. Faith that what God has promised to each person individually will come to pass in due time. And here's part one. The physical language. What touching and agreeing does in the human body. On a physical level, touching and agreeing creates coherence. When two people come together in love, safety, and sincerity, their nervous system softens. The heart rate steadies. The body exits survival and enters receptivity. Peace becomes possible. And when the body is at peace, it becomes fertile ground. Fertile for ideas, for healing, for provision, for creativity, for life itself. This is why agreement rooted in love feels settling, not forceful. It doesn't demand. It doesn't rush. It doesn't compete. True agreement calms the body because it aligns with truth. And here's part two, the spiritual language. Agreement as an amplifier, not a shortcut. Spiritually, touching and agreeing amplifies what already exists. It does not override God's timing. It does not replace personal responsibility. And it does not manipulate outcomes. When done with rightful intent, agreement increases the reception of what God is already releasing, nourishes the soil where the seed has been planted, and multiplies love, not entitlement. This is why love is the foundation. Because when God blesses one, the overflow often blesses many. But when agreement is rooted in jealousy, fear, or comparison, when it is used to come against what another is receiving, it blocks the flow entirely. Not because God withholds, but because the heart has turned away from love. Agreement cannot amplify what the heart refuses to hold. Part 3. The biblical language. What Scripture is actually pointing to. Scripture is precise here. Love your neighbor as yourself. And this is Mark chapter 12, verse 31. This was never a transactional command. It was not love so that you may receive. It was love because love prepares the ground. When Jesus said, "If two of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven." And this is Matthew chapter 18, verse 19. He was not speaking about agreement against others. He was speaking about unity with God. And Scripture reminds us, God is not a man that he should lie. And that's Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. If God has made a promise, no force, human or spiritual, can undo it. Your role is not to chase it. Your role is not to compare it. Your role is to be still within it. Because peace is the confirmation that trust is present. Part 4. A gentle turning inward, returning to origin. So this teaching does not point you to a person. It does not point you to a group. And it does not ask you to agree with anyone out of fear. It points you back to yourself, and beyond yourself, back to God. So ask yourself, am I agreeing from love or from lack? Am I celebrating what God is doing in others or resisting it? Is my heart nourishing the soil or trying to control the harvest? What God has promised you will arrive on time. Not early, not late, but exactly when you are ready to receive it in peace. And here's the closing benediction. May you rest in what has already been spoken over your life. May you bless what God is doing in others without fear of loss. May your agreements be rooted in love, not urgency. And may you remember the same God who authored the promise is faithful enough to fulfill it. So be still in that and let peace keep you. And that's all I have for this one. Yeah. So stay curious. Stay sovereign. Stay educated so you can stay elevated. And most of all, make all of your actions out of pure love. Because that is what will keep you. Because God is love. Until next time, later.